brought to you by Soundlibra.com. You can find a direct link to our full library in the description of this audio, or visit us anytime at Soundlibra.com. Let's begin our discussion on raising grateful children.
Welcome to Raise Grateful Children. I'm Alex.
And I'm Lisa. We're excited to start this journey. Just a quick heads up before we get started. While we're talking about well-being, this isn't professional medical or mental health advice, so please consult a specialist for your specific needs.
That's a great point. Now, let's jump into the heart of it. In a world focused on more, entitlement can easily creep in, challenging parents.
That's right. The emphasis on getting and instant gratification can create a mindset where kids expect things without appreciating the effort.
Today, we're discussing the gratitude imperative, why thankfulness is essential for our children's well-being and success. This episode lays the groundwork for the practical strategies to come.
So listeners, get ready. This is the why behind everything. Alex, what does entitlement look like in practice?
Entitlement means expecting things without showing appreciation, like sighing when they don't get what they want, or a dismissive reaction to a gift. It's a sense of deserving, not receiving with joy.
It's that feeling of something being owed rather than a blessing. And today's society, with its consumerism and technology, makes it easy for entitlement to grow, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Constant comparison through the connected world can fuel a desire for more. Without gratitude, this can lead to unhappiness and a sense of lack.
So, how do parents combat this and foster gratitude?
The first step is recognizing gratitude as a foundational value. It's about cultivating deep appreciation for what we have, our relationships, and our experiences. This appreciation builds resilience and fosters contentment.
Gratitude as a foundational value. That's powerful. It's more than manners. It's a worldview. How does it contribute to resilience and contentment?
When children appreciate what they have, they are less affected by minor setbacks. They can find joy in simple things. A child grateful for basic needs can handle a broken toy without their world collapsing. That's resilience.
That makes sense. It's a stable base of appreciation. And contentment?
Contentment comes from recognizing abundance. Focusing on what we lack leads to chasing the unreachable. Focusing on and thanking for what we have brings fullness. Grateful children are happy with their lives, even without the latest gadgets, because they savor the good that's already present.
So it's shifting focus from external wanting to internal appreciating. This is crucial for their development, isn't it?
Immensely. Grateful children tend to have better social skills, are more optimistic and healthier. They are compressed, more compassionate, and helpful, the building blocks for well-adjusted, successful, and happy adults.
That's true. Who'd you rather be friends with? Someone complaining or someone appreciative? And Alex, you mentioned success. How does gratitude tie into that?
Grateful individuals are more motivated and less likely to give up. They acknowledge help and are more likely to reciprocate, creating a positive feedback loop in their efforts. This drives success in school, relationships, and careers.
Wow, it's a powerful tool for navigating life. You've clearly shown why this is imperative. We're equipping our children with essential life skills, not just teaching politeness.
Precisely. This episode is the why. In the coming episodes, we'll explore the how. We'll define gratitude, model it ourselves, discuss the power of thank you, and weave these practices into family life.
I'm looking forward to it. To recap, we discussed prevalent entitlement, highlighted gratitude as a foundational value, building resilience and contentment, and how it equips children for well-being and success.
Perfect summary, Lisa. It requires intentionality and effort, but the rewards are immeasurable.
It feels like an important mission, helping children become their best selves.
Absolutely. Thanks for joining us for this foundational episode of Raise Grateful Children. We'll dive into the actionable steps next.
Next episode, we'll define gratitude, moving beyond just saying thank you to truly understanding it.
Next episode, defining gratitude, more than just thank you.
Welcome back to Raise Grateful Children. Last time, we explored why cultivating thankfulness is crucial. Now, let's define gratitude.
Well, Alex, my first thought is definitely saying thank you. When someone does something nice, we acknowledge it. It's about recognizing favors.
That's a great start, and it's part of it. But is gratitude more than just a verbal acknowledgement? More than just polite custom? Can you say thank you without truly feeling grateful?
Hmm, that's a good question. I suppose you can. Sometimes people say it out of habit or to be polite, even if they don't feel thankful. It's like going through the motions.
Exactly. And that's where we distinguish superficial politeness from genuine, deep-seated gratitude. True gratitude, I believe, is an emotion. It's a feeling of appreciation that wells up when we recognize something good has happened or when we appreciate something or someone. It's not just what we say, but what we feel.
So, it's an internal state, a mindset, rather than just an outward expression?
Precisely. It's about acknowledging not just the gift received, but the thoughtfulness and effort behind it. It's about recognizing the value of what we have, whether it's a tangible gift, an act of kindness, or even just simple things. It's a positive response to goodness.
I can see that. It's like when my child excitedly tells me about a drawing they made for me. It's not just the paper and crayons, it's the thought, the effort, the intention to make me happy. That's where the gratitude comes from, right? Appreciating that intention.
You've hit on a key point. Gratitude involves recognizing that the good things in our lives often come from sources outside ourselves. This could be other people, nature, or circumstances beyond our immediate control. It's acknowledging that we are not entirely self-sufficient and that we benefit from the contributions and kindness of others.
That's an important distinction. So, it moves beyond just enjoying the benefit to appreciating the giver or the source of that benefit.
Indeed, it's about recognizing the gift in the situation. A gift can be anything, really. A friend helping you move, a teacher offering encouragement, or even the simple beauty of a sunset. Gratitude helps us see the abundance in our lives, rather than focusing solely on what we lack. It's like looking at a full cup instead of an empty one.
That's a nice metaphor. So, if we're not just saying thank you and not just receiving a benefit, what else is involved? What does that internal feeling of gratitude look like?
It can manifest in a few ways. Firstly, there's the awareness. You're aware that something good is happening or has happened. This is followed by an emotional response, a feeling of warmth, pleasure, or contentment. Then, there's often a desire to acknowledge this goodness, perhaps through words, actions, or simply by carrying that positive feeling forward. It can also lead to a desire to reciprocate or to pay that goodness forward.
So, it's a whole cycle: awareness, feeling, expression, and often a desire to give back. That makes sense for how we teach it to children, too. It's not just about rote memorization of polite phrases.
Exactly. We want to foster that genuine internal feeling. Think about it as a lens through which we view the world. When we adopt a grateful lens, we tend to notice the good more. We see the opportunities, the kindnesses, the beauty. Without that lens, we might only see the problems, the annoyances, or the things we don't have.
It's like choosing to focus on the sunshine rather than the clouds.
A perfect analogy. And this choice, this conscious focus, is something we can cultivate. It's a habit of mind. Gratitude isn't just a reaction to big, momentous events. It's about appreciating the everyday, the warm bed to sleep in, a healthy meal, a conversation with a loved one. These are all gifts, and recognizing them as such is the essence of gratitude.
So, it's really about cultivating an attitude of appreciation for what we have, big or small, and recognizing the sources of that goodness. It's not just about saying thanks.
That's a wonderful summary, Lisa. It's a profound appreciation for what we have, coupled with an awareness of where it comes from. This deeper understanding is crucial because it's this very foundation that allows us to then teach our children to cultivate it too. We can't teach what we don't truly understand.
And understanding it as more than just politeness means we're aiming for genuine, heartfelt thankfulness in our children, not just learned behavior.
Precisely. When children develop this deep sense of gratitude, it's more than just good manners. It influences their outlook on life, their relationships, and their overall well-being. They become more resilient, more generous, and more content. They learn to find joy in simple things and to value connections over possessions.
So, to recap for our listeners, genuine gratitude is more than just saying thank you. It's an internal feeling of appreciation, an emotional response to goodness that involves recognizing things, people, or circumstances that contribute to our well-being. It means valuing what we have and acknowledging its sources outside of ourselves.
You've got it. It's a mindset shift that allows us to see and appreciate the abundance in our lives, even amidst challenges. It's about choosing to focus on the good, cultivated through awareness, a positive emotional response, and often a desire to express that appreciation and give back. This understanding is our bedrock as we move forward in teaching our children to be truly grateful. Next episode, Modeling Gratitude, walking the talk in your own life. Welcome back. Last time we explored what gratitude truly means. Now let's focus on walking the talk.
That's such a crucial topic, Alex. Our children are always watching and learning from us. If we want them to be grateful, we have to be grateful ourselves.
Exactly, Lisa. The most powerful tool we have to cultivate gratitude in our kids is to actively model it in our own lives every single day. We need to make gratitude a visible, audible part of our family culture.
How do we do that practically, though? It's easy to say, be a role model, but what does that look like when you're rushing out the door or dealing with a toddler's meltdown?
Great question. Let's break it down. It starts with small, everyday things. Think about preparing a meal. Instead of just getting it done, we can express appreciation for the food, for the resources that brought it to our table, or for the effort involved. So, I might say to my kids, wow, I'm thankful we have fresh vegetables for dinner. Or, isn't it wonderful that we can open the fridge and find so much to eat?
I love that. It's about verbalizing the underlying thankfulness. So it's not just about feeling grateful, but about showing it. Another area is acknowledging effort, right? Even if a task isn't perfectly executed.
Absolutely. For instance, if your child tries to help clean up their toys, even if it's not a perfect job, you can say, "Thank you so much for helping me with the toys. I really appreciate you pitching in." This acknowledges their effort and makes them feel seen. It teaches them that contribution and trying are valuable.
That shifts the focus from perfection to participation. And I think that's a vital lesson in itself, not just for gratitude, but for building confidence. So, we're expressing thanks for everyday provisions and acknowledging effort. What else?
We can also model gratitude for the people in our lives. This means expressing appreciation for our partners, our friends, even for service workers like the mail carrier or the grocery store cashier. A genuine thank you and a friendly smile can make a big difference, and your children will witness that. When we talk about other people, we can also model looking for the good. Instead of complaining about a neighbor, we can say, "She always waves hello. That's nice." Or, "He helped me with my groceries the other day."
That's a powerful way to shape their perception of others. It's about training ourselves to look for the positive in every interaction. And what about when things don't go well? How do we model gratitude during challenges? That seems like the ultimate test.
This is where authentic modeling truly shines, and it's probably the most impactful. When we face a setback, maybe a flat tire, a disappointed expectation, or even a personal struggle, our reaction is a huge teaching moment. Instead of just getting angry or despairing, we could try to find a silver lining or a lesson learned. For example, if we get a flat tire, instead of fit of rage, I might say, okay, this is frustrating, but I'm thankful we have a spare tire and a jack to fix it. And hey, this gives us a chance to practice patience, doesn't it?
That's such a mature and resilient response. It reframes the negative experience. It's about saying, even in difficult times, there are still things to be grateful for, or that we can learn from the situation. It teaches them that gratitude isn't just for sunny days, but a tool to navigate the storms.
Precisely. It's about cultivating inner resilience. Another example could be dealing with illness. If one of us is sick, we can express gratitude for the comfort of our bed, for medicine that helps, or for a loved one taking care of us. It doesn't dismiss the discomfort, but it highlights the supporting elements. This teaches children that even when things are tough, there are always glimmers of good to hold on to.
So, to recap for our listeners, first, verbalize appreciation for everyday things like food, shelter, and comforts. Second, acknowledge and praise effort, not just outcomes. Third, show appreciation for people and speak positively about others. And fourth, critically, model gratitude during challenges by reframing difficult situations and looking for lessons or positive aspects.
That's a fantastic summary, Lisa. And another layer to this is being mindful of what we complain about. Children, listen. If we're constantly grumbling about traffic or the weather or our jobs, they internalize that negativity. Conversely, if we catch ourselves complaining, we can consciously shift our language. We can say, this is a bit annoying, but at least, or I wish this were different, but I'm grateful for.
It's about practicing mindful language. And it's not about being a perfect saint, is it? Our kids will see a slip up, and that's okay. It's actually a chance to model something even more valuable: self awareness and humility. If I snap at someone or say something negative and then realize it, I can say, you know what? I'm sorry I said that. I was feeling frustrated. I should have thought about how that sounded. I'm grateful you're here to listen.
That's gold, Lisa. Apologizing and demonstrating self-correction is a powerful form of modeling. It shows them that everyone makes mistakes, and the important thing is to learn from them and try to do better. It's about authenticity. Our kids can sense if we're just putting on a show. They need to see that gratitude is a genuine part of our internal compass.
So, it's about integrating gratitude into our own mindset, not just performing it. When we truly feel thankful, it naturally comes out in our words and actions. And when we're consciously working on it, even when it feels difficult, that effort itself is what our children are witnessing and learning from.
It's a continuous practice. We're not aiming for perfection, but for progress. We're aiming to create a home environment where thankfulness is not an obligation, but a natural way of being. What are some simple, concrete actions parents can start with today?
I'd suggest starting with a daily gratitude check-in at dinner. Ask each family member to share one thing they were thankful for today. It can be anything: a delicious cookie, a fun game with a friend, a sunny afternoon. Keep it simple and positive.
That's brilliant. And I'd add, make a point of thanking your child for something specific at least once a day. It might be for their artwork, for helping set the table, or even just for giving you a hug. Make it genuine and eye to eye.
And perhaps, as parents, we can each pick one area where we feel we could better model gratitude and focus on that for a week. Maybe it's expressing thanks for your partner's efforts or finding a positive spin on a commuting annoyance.
Excellent advice. So, to wrap up this episode, remember that our children are our most attentive audience. By authentically and consistently walking the talk of thankfulness, we lay the strongest foundation for them to grow into grateful individuals. We express appreciation for everyday things. We acknowledge effort. We show thanks to people. and we use challenges as opportunities to demonstrate resilience through gratitude.
And by being imperfect but self-aware and admitting when we need to do better, we teach them that gratitude is a journey, not a destination.
Absolutely. Thank you for joining us for episode 3. Next episode, we're going to dive into the power of the words themselves, thank you, and how to craft meaningful expressions of appreciation. Welcome back to Raise Grateful Children. Last time, we explored what gratitude truly means beyond simple politeness.
That's right, Alex. And today, we're focusing on the concrete act of saying thank you. Learning to express gratitude is a skill that needs nurturing.
Exactly. A quick thanks often doesn't have a deep impact. We want our expressions of gratitude to create meaningful connections.
So, are we talking about elaborate speeches every time someone hands a child a crayon?
Not quite. We're talking about sincerity and specificity. Our role is to help children understand that a meaningful thank you is more than just a couple of words.
How do we teach a child to make their thank you more meaningful?
The first step is modeling. When we express genuine, specific thanks, children internalize it. So, for dinner, say, "Thank you for making this delicious lasagna, honey. I really appreciate you taking the time after a long day."
Oh, I do. It acknowledges the effort and feels much more personal.
Precisely. And then we can guide our children. When they receive a gift, encourage them. "Can you tell Grandma what you like about your new toy?" Or, "Thank you for the toy, Mr. Smith. I love the color."
That's a great way to move beyond rote phrases. It makes them think about why they're thankful.
Absolutely. And this applies to everyday kindnesses. Did a friend share a snack? Did a teacher help with a problem? Encourage that specific acknowledgement. "Thank you for sharing your crackers with me, Sarah. That was very kind." Or, "Thank you for explaining that, Ms. Davis. I understand it much better now."
So, it's about connecting the action with the feeling and the person.
Exactly. And beyond verbal thanks, written expressions are incredibly powerful. For many children, a thank you note can be a profound way to show appreciation.
I remember getting thank you notes as a child. They felt like little treasures.
They are. They teach children the value of pausing, reflecting, and communicating feelings. Even a short note can make a big difference.
What are some tips for encouraging written thank yous? It can sometimes feel like a chore.
Make it accessible and inviting. Have supplies ready, and don't wait too long. Aim to do it within a few days for the best recall of genuine feeling.
So, immediate follow-up is important.
Very. For younger children, ask them what they liked best about the gift. They can dictate their words for you to write down. For older children, suggest a simple structure. Start by saying thank you for the gift. Then, mention something specific you like about it or how you might use it. Finally, say goodbye.
That's helpful. It gives them a starting point.
And it's an opportunity to discuss appreciation styles. Some children are verbal, others artistic. Recognizing these different ways of expressing thanks can empower them.
Right. So, it's not one size fits all. A drawing can be just as meaningful as a verbal thank you.
Absolutely. And let's not forget sharing gratitude within the family. We can create rituals. This could be around the dinner table, before bed, or during a family meeting.
Like a gratitude moment.
Exactly. Each family member shares something they are thankful for, or someone they want to thank. It could be small. "I'm thankful my brother helped me find my lost shoe," or "I want to thank mom for helping me with my homework."
That sounds like a wonderful way to build connection and reinforce acknowledging kindness.
It really does. When we encourage these specific, sincere expressions of thanks, we're teaching our children to be mindful, compassionate, and to truly see and value the efforts of others. This cultivates a deeper sense of belonging.
So, to recap, we're moving beyond automatic thanks to more meaningful appreciation. This involves modeling sincere, specific thanks. We guide children to articulate what they appreciate. We leverage written thank yous, making them accessible and providing structure.
And we create family traditions like a gratitude moment to regularly practice and reinforce these skills. By doing this, we're raising children who understand the impact of their words and actions.
It's about making gratitude a visible, felt part of our daily lives.
Precisely. Because when children learn to artfully express their appreciation, they become more aware of the good around them, and they, in turn, become agents of good.
That's a fantastic takeaway for today. We've given our listeners actionable steps for meaningful thank yous.
And that's our goal. Next time, we'll be shifting our focus to weaving these appreciation habits into the fabric of your family life with daily rituals. Next episode, Daily Rituals of Appreciation, weaving gratitude into your family's fabric. Welcome back. Today, we're weaving gratitude into your family's daily life.
It's so important for gratitude to become a habit, Alex, not just something we talk about. Today, we're focusing on daily rituals of appreciation, weaving gratitude into your family's fabric.
Exactly, Lisa. Remember in episode 3, we talked about modeling, how our children learn by watching us. Daily rituals are a powerful way to show them what gratitude looks like in action. They become habits, almost like brushing your teeth, something you just do because it's part of your life.
That makes so much sense. So, where do we begin? What are some of these concrete rituals we can start incorporating right away?
Let's start with something simple and very accessible, the gratitude journal. Many of us might already do this individually, but how can we make it a family affair? You can have a shared family journal or encourage each family member to have their own.
A shared journal sounds lovely. So, maybe at dinner, each person writes down one thing they're grateful for that day?
Precisely. Or it could be done before bed. The key is consistency. Even if it's just one sentence or a drawing for younger children, it prompts reflection. This daily act of pause and note-taking helps solidify appreciation. It's like a tiny anchor for a positive feeling.
So, it's not just about saying thanks, but actively thinking about what we're thankful for and doing it together.
Absolutely. And building on that, consider evening reflections. This can be integrated into bedtime routines. Instead of just asking, "How was your day?" Try asking specific gratitude-focused questions. What was one kind thing someone did for you today? Or what made you smile today?
Oh, I love that. It shifts the focus from just recounting events to seeking out the positive moments. And it encourages children to look for good things, even if it was a tough day.
Exactly. It trains their minds to scan for the good. These aren't just random questions. They are prompts designed to cultivate a grateful outlook. And you know what else is a powerful ritual? Share meals.
Shared meals are fantastic for connection, but how do we specifically infuse gratitude into them?
Well, beyond a quick journal entry at the table, you can use meal times for appreciation conversations. Before the meal begins, or even after, take a moment. You could go around the table and each person shares something they're grateful for related to the meal itself, or something that happened that day.
So, it could be as simple as, I'm thankful for this delicious pasta, or I'm thankful my dad helped me with my homework.
Yes. Or it could be, "I'm grateful for this time we're all together," or "I'm thankful for the sunshine we had today." It makes the meal more than just sustenance. It becomes a moment of shared positive connection. Think of it as topping off your meal with a side of thankfulness.
That's a beautiful way to put it. It creates a routine that reinforces the value of gratitude naturally, without feeling like a chore.
And we can also find gratitude in mindfulness moments. This doesn't have to be a formal meditation. It could be as simple as taking a few deep breaths together before starting a task that might be challenging or noticing the beauty around us.
Like appreciating the taste of a crisp apple or the feeling of the sun on your skin.
Precisely. A mindful moment is an invitation to notice. And when we notice the good, even the small things, we naturally feel a sense of appreciation. So, perhaps before watching a movie together, you pause for 1 minute. Just breathe, notice how you feel, and then share one thing you're looking forward to about the movie.
These are all so practical, Alex. It's not about adopting a whole new lifestyle overnight, but about integrating small, consistent practices.
That's absolutely the goal. And remember, these rituals serve as constant reminders. They help shift our family culture from one that might take things for granted to one that intentionally celebrates and acknowledges the good. It's about building a foundation of thankfulness, brick by brick, through these daily actions.
So, to recap for our listeners, we've talked about a few key daily rituals. First, the gratitude journal, either shared or individual, to foster regular reflection on what we're thankful for.
Then, evening reflections with gratitude focused questions to train our children to seek out the positive.
And incorporating appreciation into shared meals, making them moments of connection beyond just food.
Finally, mindful moments, pausing to notice and appreciate the present or simple joys, which can also be part of our daily rhythm. These practices, when done consistently, truly weave gratitude into the fabric of family life. They become touchstones, guiding us back to thankfulness day after day.
It's about making gratitude a natural, effortless part of your family's everyday experience, not an add on.
Exactly. These aren't just exercises. They are investments in your family's well-being and their ability to find joy and resilience.
So, for those looking to nurture thankfulness in their homes, start small, be consistent, and make it a shared family experience.
That's a perfect summary. Next episode, we'll explore how to nurture these appreciation habits, helping them grow from little seeds into big blooms. Welcome back. Last time, we explored daily rituals of appreciation. Today, we'll nurture appreciation habits, helping them grow from little seeds into big blooms.
That's right, Alex. It's about moving from just saying thank you to truly feeling and expressing appreciation. Building strong habits relies on mindful awareness, which we touched on earlier. If we're not aware of what's happening around us, it's hard to feel grateful for it. So, how do we begin nurturing these habits, especially with younger children?
A great starting point is making the invisible visible. Children often take things for granted because they don't see the effort behind them. Think about the food on their plates. They might not realize the journey it took, from the farmer to the store to the person who prepared the meal.
So, we need to help them connect the dots?
Exactly. We can do this through simple conversations during mealtime, or even by involving them more in the grocery shopping or cooking process. When a child helps put away groceries, or perhaps washes some vegetables for dinner, they start to understand the work involved. You could say, "Look at all these fruits and vegetables. So many people worked hard to get them to our table."
That's a fantastic way to make the abstract concrete. It's like giving them a behind the scenes tour of everyday life. What about appreciating people's efforts?
This is where consistent reinforcement comes in. When someone does something kind for your child, encourage them to express their gratitude, not just with words, but with a specific acknowledgement of the action. Instead of just thank you, prompt them to say, "Thank you for helping me build that. I really appreciate that you took the time."
So, it's about identifying the specific deed and the feeling it generated?
Precisely. And this doesn't have to be a grand gesture. It could be a sibling helping with a chore, a friend sharing a toy, or even a parent taking time to listen. The habit is built by acknowledging these small acts regularly. You can also model this yourself. When your child does something helpful, point out how it made you feel. Thank you for tidying your toys. It makes me so happy when the living room is neat and tidy.
That's a wonderful way to show them the impact of their actions. It reinforces the positive behavior and the feeling of appreciation. What about the concept of appreciating what we have, especially when it comes to possessions? This can be tough in a world that constantly tells us we need more.
This is where countering materialism becomes crucial, and it ties directly into nurturing appreciation habits. We can help children cultivate gratitude for their belongings by encouraging them to care for their things. When kids take pride in maintaining their toys, books, or clothing, they develop a deeper appreciation for them.
So, instead of constantly buying new things, we focus on valuing and caring for what they already own?
Yes, this could involve teaching them how to mend a torn seam, how to properly store their belongings, or even suggesting they contribute to the repair of a favorite toy. By investing their own effort into their possessions, they naturally value them more. We can also encourage them to think about the journey their possessions took. For instance, this bike wasn't just delivered. Many people worked to design, build, and bring it here so you could enjoy it.
That's a powerful reminder of the resources and effort behind the things we own. It helps shift the focus from just acquisition to stewardship.
And it's not just about material possessions. We also want to help children appreciate the simple joys of life. Remember how we talked about mindful awareness? This is where it really shines. Encouraging children to notice the little things, the warmth of the sun, the sound of birds, a funny cloud formation, helps them find wonder in the everyday.
How can we actively encourage noticing those simple joys?
We can create opportunities for shared experiences that highlight these things. Perhaps it's a dedicated wonder walk, where the goal is simply to notice interesting things, or a gratitude journal, where they can draw or write about something small they appreciated that day. For younger children, you can verbally point these things out. Isn't it amazing how this little seed can grow into such a big flower?
I love the idea of a wonder walk. It reframes exploration from a task to an appreciation exercise. It actively trains their brains to look for the good.
Precisely. And as they grow, these activities evolve. For older children, it might be discussing the history of a familiar object or learning about the science behind a natural phenomenon. The key is to continuously guide them to see the value and wonder in the world around them, both tangible and intangible.
So, to recap, nurturing appreciation habits involves making the invisible visible by highlighting the effort behind food and possessions, encouraging specific acknowledgments of people's kindness, fostering care for belongings to counter materialism, and actively cultivating the noticing of simple joys through shared experiences and mindful observation. It really is about creating a continuous cycle of awareness, appreciation, and expression.
That's a perfect summary, Lisa. Building these habits takes time and consistent effort, much like tending a garden. You plant the seeds of awareness, water them with consistent practice, and help them flourish by modeling and reinforcing appreciation. When we consistently guide our children to see the effort, the value, and the wonder, we help them grow into more grateful individuals.
It's about instilling a lifelong perspective, isn't it? Not just a fleeting moment of thankfulness, but a way of being.
Absolutely. And the more we practice these habits ourselves, the more naturally they will be adopted by our children. They learn by watching us. So let's commit to being more mindful, more appreciative, and more vocal about our gratitude in our everyday lives.
Next episode, we'll explore how to counter the pervasive influence of materialism and raise children who truly value more than just the latest gadgets and trends.
Welcome back to Raise grateful children. Last time, we planted seeds for powerful appreciation habits. Now, we're tackling a big one for parents, countering materialism.
It's such a huge challenge, Alex. It feels like we're swimming against a strong current sometimes.
Exactly. That relentless message can easily seep into children's minds. They start believing happiness comes from accumulating possessions. So, our goal today is to equip you with strategies to foster contentment and help your children appreciate what truly matters.
Which, as we've discussed, are experiences and relationships. So let's dive into how we can actively do that, building on our habit forming talks from last episode.
Our first key strategy is to differentiate between wants and needs. This might sound simple, but it's fundamental. When a child asks for something, the first step isn't necessarily yes or no. It's asking questions that prompt them to think.
Like, why do you want that? Or what will you do with it? Or even, do you already have something similar at home? I've found those kinds of questions can really make a child pause and consider.
Precisely. You're not dismissing their desire. You're encouraging critical thinking. You want them to understand that not every desire is a necessity. A need is something essential for survival and well-being. A want is something desirable but not essential. When you help them draw that line, they start to develop a more balanced perspective.
So it's about teaching them to evaluate rather than just consume. That also requires us, as parents, to be mindful of the messages we're sending.
Absolutely. Our own behavior is the most powerful curriculum. If we're constantly chasing the next big thing, always expressing dissatisfaction with what we have, our children will absorb that. We need to model contentment ourselves. This means expressing gratitude for what we do have and finding joy in simple things.
That ties back perfectly to our earlier episodes on gratitude. If we're regularly showing and talking about our thankfulness for our home, our family, a sunny day, that sets a different tone than always focusing on what's missing.
It does. And it reinforces the idea that value isn't always tied to a price tag. A walk in the park can be incredibly valuable. A conversation with a friend can be priceless. We need to help our children recognize and articulate the value in these non-material aspects of life.
So, modeling contentment, teaching them to distinguish wants from needs, what else can we do to actively counter this materialistic pull?
Let's talk about experiences. Make experiences, rather than things, the focus of rewards and celebrations. Instead of always buying a new toy for a good report card, maybe plan a special family outing. A trip to the zoo, a picnic in a new park, a visit to a local museum.
That's such a great point. Experiences create lasting memories and strengthen family bonds, which are far more valuable than any toy that will eventually be outgrown or broken.
And when we do give gifts, we can be intentional. Teach children to appreciate the effort and thought behind a gift, not just its material value. Talk about who made it, why it was chosen for them, and how it fits into their life. This shifts the focus from the what to the why and the who.
It's about cultivating a deeper appreciation for the entire act of giving and receiving, not just the object itself. Sometimes, children get so focused on the unwrapping part that they miss the heart of it.
They do, and that's our cue to guide them. Another powerful tool is limiting exposure to consumerist messages. This means being mindful of advertising, especially online and on television. You can limit screen time or use it as an opportunity to discuss marketing tactics.
That's a good reminder. It's not just about what they're watching, but how they're watching it and having conversations about it.
Exactly. And when they do express a desire for something they've seen, revisit those want versus need questions. Is this something you truly need, or is it something that advertising is making you feel like you need? This builds their media literacy too.
So, we're really teaching them to be discerning consumers, not just of products, but of messages. I'm also thinking about how we can frame accomplishments. Instead of saying, you're so good at getting the latest games, maybe shift to you're so creative when you build with your blocks, or you're such a good friend because you share your toys nicely.
That's brilliant, Lisa. You're shifting the praise from acquisition to character and skill. You're valuing their effort their creativity, their social skills, all of which are intrinsically valuable and not tied to material possessions. This reinforces that their worth isn't measured by what they own.
It's about valuing who they are and how they interact with the world, rather than what they have. We can also encourage imaginative play and activities that don't require a lot of new stuff. Think forts made from blankets, drawing with chalk on the sidewalk, creating stories together.
Those are often the most memorable childhood activities. They foster creativity and problem solving without relying on the latest toy. And when it comes to allowance or pocket money, you can help them manage it wisely. Teach them about saving for something they truly want and about using some of it for charitable giving.
Ah, the gratitude of generosity. That's a whole other powerful aspect. But for today, focusing on countering materialism, it sounds like the key takeaways are consistently distinguish wants from needs through questioning, model contentment and gratitude ourselves, prioritize experiences over possessions in rewards and celebrations, be mindful of advertising and media messages, and praise effort, character, and creativity.
You've summarized it perfectly, Lisa. These aren't quick fixes, but rather ongoing conversations and consistent practices that build a solid foundation for your children. By actively fostering an appreciation for non-material aspects of life, you're equipping them with resilience and a deeper sense of fulfillment that will serve them far beyond the fleeting satisfaction of a new toy.
It's about nurturing a heart that's rich in appreciation, not just in possessions. It's a journey, but one that leads to a much more meaningful life for them and for us as parents.
Indeed. Next episode, we'll delve into the wonderful world of the language of gratitude, exploring how we can connect with our children more deeply through their individual appreciation styles. Welcome back to Raise Grateful Children. Today we're exploring how words and actions build gratitude.
Last time, we discussed nurturing appreciation habits and how to raise kids who value more than just things. Today, we're focusing on the different ways we can express our thankfulness and how our children best receive it.
Think about how we show love. Some people thrive on compliments, while others feel most loved when someone helps them with a task. Gratitude works the same way. We need to understand our children's unique appreciation languages so our expressions of thanks truly land.
So, what are these appreciation languages for gratitude? It's a bit like knowing someone's love language, but for thanks.
Exactly. Building on our discussion about crafting meaningful expressions, we can group them into 5 key areas. The first is words of affirmation.
This means using spoken praise, compliments, and admiration, like saying, I really appreciate you helping your sister with her homework. That was so kind.
Precisely. For a child whose primary language is words of affirmation, genuine praise and thanks make them feel seen and valued. They flourish when they hear you express your appreciation and understand why you're thankful.
What's the next language of appreciation?
The second is quality time. This means giving them your focused, undivided attention. Putting away distractions and truly engaging with your child shows them they are valued.
So, to express gratitude to a child who values quality time, we might say, thank you for tidying up your toys. Let's read a book together now, and then make sure we do it.
You've got it. Being present and engaged makes them feel like a priority. The third language is receiving gifts. This element isn't about materialism at all. For a child with this language, a thoughtfully chosen gift is a tangible symbol of love and appreciation.
So, it's not the cost, but the intention behind it, like finding a pretty stone or drawing a picture to give them.
Yes, the thought behind it is crucial. A small token says, I was thinking of you, and I appreciate you.
We have words, time, and gifts. What else?
The fourth language is acts of service. This is about doing things for your child that demonstrate appreciation, like helping them with a challenging task or taking a chore off their plate.
So, to say thank you to a child who understands acts of service, we might help them organize their book collection or make their favorite snack.
Right? It's showing appreciation through action, saying, I love you and appreciate you, so I'm happy to do this for you.
And the fifth language is physical touch.
Yes, for some children, a hug, a pat on the back, or holding their hand is the most powerful way they feel appreciated. It creates a direct, warm connection.
So, if physical touch is their primary language, a sincere thank you could be accompanied by a warm hug to reinforce the feeling of appreciation.
Absolutely. Remember, most of us have a primary language, but we also respond to others. Knowing a child's primary language is like having a key to their heart, allowing us to express gratitude in a way that resonates most deeply with them.
This is incredibly practical. How can parents discover their child's appreciation language?
Observation is your best tool. Notice how your child naturally expresses appreciation to others. Do they often give compliments? Do they cherish one-on-one time? Do they get excited about receiving small tokens? Or are they always offering to help out or initiating hugs?
So, if my child is always volunteering to help with chores or tasks, that might mean acts of service is a significant language for them.
Exactly. Or if they frequently ask to play games or read stories together, they might lean towards quality time being their preferred way to feel appreciated. You can also ask them, in age-appropriate ways, what makes them feel most loved and appreciated.
That's a great way to guide their thinking. How does understanding these languages help us counter materialism, which we touched on last time?
When we intentionally express gratitude through a child's preferred appreciation language, they learn to feel appreciated for who they are, not just for what they have or do. Instead of offering more possessions, we can offer our time, our words, our help, or a comforting hug. These are profound expressions of gratitude that build connection and don't cost money.
So, instead of buying a new toy to celebrate good grades, we could plan a special family outing or write a heartfelt note detailing our pride in their effort and achievement.
Precisely. This approach shifts the focus away from possessions and towards meaningful connection. When children feel deeply appreciated through these different languages, they're less likely to equate their self-worth with material things. They understand their true value comes from within and from the love and appreciation of their family.
This builds a much stronger foundation for genuine gratitude, rather than just a surface level appreciation tied to acquiring items.
Absolutely. When we consciously speak our child's appreciation language, we teach them to feel genuinely appreciated, which in turn helps them to give appreciation more readily. This fosters relationships built on connection and mutual respect, creating a family culture where appreciation is a day-to-day practice.
To sum up, children have different appreciation languages: words of affirmation, quality time, receiving gifts, acts of service, and physical touch. Identifying a child's primary language allows us to express gratitude in a way that truly resonates, strengthening family bonds and making them feel seen and valued. This is a powerful strategy for countering materialism, as it highlights that true appreciation comes from connection, not just acquisition.
That's a perfect summary, Lisa. Understanding and intentionally using these appreciation languages is vital for raising truly grateful children. When they feel deeply appreciated in ways that matter to them, they're naturally more inclined to extend that appreciation outwards to others.
It really feels like another essential piece of the puzzle for building a grateful family.
It is. Next episode, we'll explore the powerful connection between gratitude and generosity through the act of volunteering.
That sounds like a wonderful next step.
It is. Thanks for joining us on Raise Grateful Children. We'll see you next episode. Welcome back. Last time we covered the language of gratitude. Now let's tackle giving back.
And it's such a powerful extension of what we discussed earlier, Alex, especially after episode 7 on countering materialism. When kids see and experience the needs of others, it really puts their own blessings into perspective.
Exactly, Lisa. It's about shifting focus from what we want to what we have, and then extending that understanding outwards. Generosity, in many ways, is gratitude in action. When we feel thankful for what we have, we're more inclined to share it, whether that's our time, our skills, or our resources.
So, how do we introduce this concept of gratitude through volunteering to children? It can feel like a big step.
The key is to start small and make it age appropriate. Think about simple acts of service that young children can participate in. For very young kids, it might be helping you bake cookies for a neighbor who's feeling unwell or collecting gently used toys to donate to a children's charity. It's about experiencing the joy of giving.
That makes sense. It's not about overwhelming them, but about creating positive associations with helping others. So, rather than just giving things, we are showing them how to give of themselves.
Precisely. And as they grow, the opportunities can become more involved. Family volunteering is a fantastic way to model this. Imagine a Saturday morning spent helping out at a local food bank, sorting donations, or participating in a community cleanup day. These experiences offer tangible ways for children to see the impact of their efforts.
I love the idea of family volunteering. It creates shared memories and a common purpose. It's not just telling kids to be grateful, it's showing them how to live gratefully by contributing to the well-being of their community.
And it fosters empathy. When children interact with people from different backgrounds or who are facing challenges, they begin to understand the world from perspectives other than their own. This understanding is the bedrock of true gratitude. They start to appreciate the safety, the abundance, and the opportunities they might have previously taken for granted. Remember when we talked about appreciating simple joys? Volunteering amplifies that by highlighting the profound impact of even small contributions.
Yes, they can see that their actions, even if they seem small to them, can make a real difference to someone else. It moves them from a passive state of receiving to an active state of contributing.
Absolutely. And this isn't just about the recipients of the generosity. It profoundly impacts the children themselves. Studies consistently show that engaging in volunteer work boosts self-esteem, develops a stronger sense of responsibility, and builds valuable life skills like teamwork and problem solving. They learn to navigate new environments and interact with a diverse range of people.
So, it's a win-win situation. The community benefits and the children develop in significant ways. How can parents encourage this naturally without it feeling like a chore for the kids?
It's about framing it positively and connecting it to their interests. If your child loves animals, perhaps volunteering at an animal shelter could be a good fit. If they enjoy being outdoors, a park beautification project might be perfect. Finding opportunities that align with their passions makes the experience more engaging and less like an obligation.
That's a great point. Tying it to their existing interests makes it feel less like work and more like an adventure or a meaningful project. What about instilling the spirit of giving even when formal volunteering isn't possible?
Informal volunteering is just as important. It's about creating a culture of helpfulness within the home. This could be as simple as assigning chores that benefit the whole family, like taking care of a younger sibling, helping with meal preparation, or tidying common areas. These everyday acts cultivate a mindset of contributing and are a precursor to more structured volunteering.
So, the foundation is built right at home with these daily contributions. It teaches them that everyone has a role to play in making things better.
Exactly. And when they do participate in formal volunteering, it's crucial to debrief and discuss the experience afterward. Ask them how it made them feel, who they met, and what they learned. This reflection helps solidify the lessons and deepen their understanding of gratitude and its connection to generosity. What did you notice? What was the best part? How did it feel to help that person? These questions guide them in processing the experience.
I can see how that guided reflection is key to cementing the lesson. It helps them articulate the feelings and connections they've made. It's about fostering that internal sense of purpose and appreciation, rather than just fulfilling an external requirement.
Precisely. We're cultivating a spirit of service, not just fulfilling a quota. And this spirit, once ignited, tends to grow. Children who volunteer regularly are more likely to become adults who are civically engaged and continue to give back to their communities throughout their lives. They learn that true fulfillment often comes from contributing to something larger than oneself.
It's like planting seeds of generosity that will blossom over time. It's counterintuitive to our materialistic society, perhaps, but it's so much more rewarding.
It truly is. By engaging our children in volunteer work, we're not only teaching them the intrinsic value of giving back, but we are also reinforcing their understanding of gratitude. They learn to appreciate what they have by actively working to improve the lives of others. It's a beautiful, cyclical process.
So, to recap this episode, we've explored how generosity, demonstrated through volunteering, is a powerful expression of gratitude. We learned that starting small with age-appropriate acts of service, involving the whole family in volunteering, connecting opportunities to children's interests, and fostering everyday helpfulness at home are all crucial steps. And finally, we emphasize the importance of reflecting on these experiences to deepen their impact.
That's a perfect summary, Lisa. Giving back through volunteering is a tangible way to cultivate empathy, responsibility, and a lifelong spirit of thankfulness. It teaches our children the profound joy that comes from contributing to the well-being of others and appreciating the interconnectedness of our communities. Next episode, we'll explore the joy of finding wonder in the everyday. Welcome back to Raise Grateful Children. Today, we celebrate the simple joys that surround us every single day.
That's right, Alex. It's so easy to get caught up in the grand gestures, the big achievements, or even the next big thing. But when we teach our children to find wonder in the everyday, we're equipping them with a profound skill, a way to foster contentment and genuine appreciation, no matter what.
Exactly. Think about it, Lisa. How often do we rush through our days, barely noticing the little moments that make up the bulk of our lives? The warmth of the sun on our skin, the taste of a perfectly ripe piece of fruit, the sound of rain on the roof, a child's infectious giggle. These are the building blocks of a happy existence, and learning to savor them is a gift we can give our children.
I love that framing, Alex. It's not about dismissing bigger moments, but about enriching our lives by appreciating the constant, gentle presence of the ordinary. So, how can parents actively help their children cultivate this ability to find wonder in the everyday?
One of the most effective ways is through modeling. Children are incredible imitators. If we pause to truly notice and express delight in simple things, they will learn to do the same. So, as you're walking outside, point out the intricate patterns on a leaf. When you're eating, comment on how delicious your meal is. Make it a natural part of your conversation.
That makes so much sense. It's about bringing mindfulness to those mundane moments. I remember one time, my daughter was frustrated because her drawing didn't look exactly like she envisioned. Instead of just telling her to keep trying, I noticed the vibrant blue she had used for the sky. I said, "Wow, that blue is so cheerful. It really makes me feel happy looking at it." Her attention shifted from the imperfection to the positive aspect, and she beamed.
That's a perfect example, Lisa. You redirected her focus from a perceived flaw to a positive sensory experience. It's about helping them reframe their perception. We can also create simple, dedicated moments for appreciation. This builds upon the daily rituals we discussed earlier, but with a specific focus on the small stuff.
Could you elaborate on that? What might these dedicated moments look like?
Certainly. One idea is a joy jar. Decorate a jar together and keep it somewhere visible. Each day, encourage everyone in the family to write down or draw something simple that brought them joy that day and put it in the jar. It could be anything: a funny joke a friend told, the comfort of a warm blanket, a bird singing outside your window. Periodically, maybe once a week or month, you can pull out the slips and read them aloud. It's a tangible reminder of the wealth of good in your lives.
Oh, I love the joy jar idea. It's a concrete way to capture those fleeting moments and make them visible. It's like building a treasure chest of happy memories.
Precisely. Another approach is to incorporate a wonder walk into your routine. This doesn't have to be a long hike. It could be a short walk around the block. The goal is to actively look for things to be amazed by. What's the most interesting cloud formation you see? What are the different sounds you can hear? What textures can you feel? It's about engaging all the senses and being curious about the world around you.
A wonder walk. That's fantastic. It turns a familiar route into an adventure. And it's so accessible. You can do it anytime, anywhere. It really encourages kids to slow down and observe, which is such a valuable skill in our fast-paced world.
Absolutely. And it doesn't always have to be about external observation. Simple joys can also be found in connection and shared experiences. A spontaneous dance party in the living room, a shared meal where everyone recounts their best moment of the day, or even just sitting together reading a book. These are opportunities to foster gratitude for each other.
So it's about creating space for these moments. Sometimes I find myself so busy planning activities or ensuring everything is perfect that I forget to just be with my children and notice the simple beauty of our shared existence.
That's a very common challenge. The key is to intentionally carve out that space. It might mean letting go of a few less important to-dos to make time for a quiet afternoon in the garden, or simply putting down your phone during a meal to have a real conversation. These moments of presence are where true appreciation blossoms.
You mentioned earlier, Alex, countering materialism. How does celebrating simple joys tie into that?
This is a crucial connection. When children learn to find immense pleasure in things that don't cost money, a beautiful sunset, a hug from a loved one, a game of tag in the park, their desire for constant material acquisition often diminishes. They begin to understand that true happiness and fulfillment come from experiences and relationships, not just possessions. They learn to value what they have rather than always wanting what they don't.
That's such an important lesson. It shifts their entire perspective on what constitutes a rich life. Instead of feeling deprived if they don't get the latest toy, they can feel wealthy in the abundance of everyday wonders.
Exactly. Think about the language we use. Instead of saying, we can't afford that, we can reframe it as, let's find something else fun to do that doesn't cost money. This reinforces the idea that joy isn't tied to expense. And when they do receive a gift, they are more likely to appreciate it genuinely, understanding its value beyond just its price tag, because they have a broader understanding of what truly brings them joy.
It's about building that intrinsic sense of contentment. So, to recap for our listeners, we're encouraging everyone to actively model appreciation for simple things, create dedicated moments like a joy jar or wonder walks, prioritize presence and connection, and understand how celebrating everyday joys directly counters materialism by highlighting experiences and relationships as the true sources of happiness.
That's a perfect summary, Lisa. It's about nurturing a mindset where gratitude isn't an occasional outburst, but a constant, flowing undercurrent. It's about finding the extraordinary in the ordinary and teaching our children to do the same. This cultivated appreciation for the simple things will serve them and us profoundly throughout their lives. It's a foundation for resilience, happiness, and a deep, abiding sense of thankfulness.
It truly is. And it reinforces the idea that a grateful life isn't about having perfect circumstances, but about finding the beauty and the good moments within whatever circumstances we find ourselves in. Alex, what can listeners look forward to in our next episode?
Next episode: the resilience of gratitude, overcoming challenges with thankfulness.
That sounds like a crucial topic, Alex. I'm already looking forward to it.
As am I. Until then, try to find at least one simple joy today and share it with someone you love. Welcome back to Raise Grateful Children. Today we are discussing gratitude's power to build resilience.
That's such an important topic. True gratitude is forged in the fires of difficulty. So, how can we help our children not just cope with tough times, but actually grow stronger through them, fueled by thankfulness?
Exactly, Lisa. Resilience is the ability to bounce back when life knocks you down. Gratitude acts as a powerful spring in that bounce. When we intentionally focus on what we're thankful for, even during hard times, it shifts our perspective. It reminds us of the good that still exists, the support systems we have, and the inner strengths we possess.
So, it's about actively finding those silver linings rather than getting lost in the storm. For kids, this can be a huge shift. They might naturally focus on what's wrong, what they've lost, or how unfair things feel.
Absolutely. And that's where our role as parents and guardians comes in. We need to model this behavior first. Imagine a child is disappointed because a planned park outing was rained out. Instead of dwelling on the ruined fun, a resilient, grateful parent might say, "Oh, the rain is a bummer, isn't it? But look how cozy it is inside. We can build a blanket for it and have a movie marathon instead. I'm so thankful we have books and movies to enjoy on days like these."
That's a great example. It reframes the situation from a loss to an opportunity for something different, something still positive. You're not dismissing their disappointment, but you are guiding them toward a more hopeful outlook.
Precisely. And this isn't about pretending everything is perfect. It's about acknowledging the difficulty while deliberately seeking out aspects to appreciate. Remember how we talked about the power of thank you in episode 4? We can adapt those skills to express gratitude specifically for the lessons learned or the help received during tough times.
Right.
So, when a child struggles with a difficult homework assignment and finally figures it out, instead of just moving on, we could encourage them to say, "I'm thankful I didn't give up. I learned that I can solve hard problems if I keep trying. And I'm thankful for teacher/parent who helped me understand it better."
Excellent. That reinforces the value of perseverance and acknowledges the support system. It teaches them that challenges, while uncomfortable, are also opportunities for growth and learning. We're essentially teaching them to co-opt gratitude as a tool for their own emotional toolkit.
One of the key takeaways from earlier episodes was about making gratitude a habit, weaving it into the fabric of our families. How does that apply when things get tough?
It becomes even more crucial. When challenging times hit, it's our established gratitude practices that can provide a steady anchor. If your family already has a nightly ritual of sharing something they're grateful for, it becomes easier to find something, no matter how small, on a difficult day. Maybe it's just the comfort of their own bed, a hug from a family member, or the taste of a warm meal.
So, those daily habits really build a foundation, a sort of gratitude muscle that's stronger when it needs to be. And what about when the challenge is something significant, like a family illness or a job loss? That's a lot for a child to process.
It is, in those situations, our own calm and our ability to find gratitude amidst the storm are paramount. We can acknowledge the fear and sadness, but also focus on things like, "I'm so grateful we have a strong medical team supporting us," or "I'm thankful for friends and neighbors who are stepping in to help." This doesn't erase the hardship, but it shows our children that even in the darkest moments, there is still light. We're demonstrating that gratitude isn't just about fair weather appreciation. It's a deeply ingrained way of viewing the world.
It sounds like we're helping them develop a more optimistic explanatory style. Instead of attributing negative events to a permanent, pervasive, and personal flaw, they learn to see them as temporary, specific, and often external.
That's a fantastic way to put it, Lisa. By modeling and encouraging gratitude, we're helping them reframe narratives. They learn to say, this is a tough situation, but it's not forever, and I have the strength and support to get through it. This is the heart of resilience. They learn that challenges don't define them. Their response to challenges does.
And this resilience is so vital for their future. As they grow, they'll face job rejections, relationship issues, unforeseen setbacks. A child who has learned to tap into gratitude their entire life will navigate these with a different mindset than one who hasn't.
Absolutely. Gratitude fosters a sense of agency. It reminds them that even if they can't control the external circumstances, they can control their internal response. They can choose to look for the good, to be thankful for the lessons, and to appreciate the people in their lives. This choice is incredibly empowering.
So, to recap for our listeners, fostering resilience through gratitude involves several key practices. First, we need to model it ourselves, finding appreciation even in difficult situations. Second, we encourage our children to shift their perspective, to find those silver linings and lessons learned. Third, we can use the techniques of expressing gratitude, like saying thank you, to acknowledge progress and support received. And finally, our ongoing gratitude practices, like sharing daily appreciations, build a strong foundation that can be leaned on during tough times.
That's a perfect summary, Lisa. It's about equipping our children with a powerful perspective, a way of seeing the world that allows them to not just survive challenges, but to thrive and grow stronger because of them. Gratitude isn't just about feeling good. It's about building inner fortitude.
It truly is. It's about teaching them that even when the sky is cloudy, there's still a sun, and the clouds will eventually part. And that's a lifelong gift.
Indeed. Next time, we'll explore how to build a deeply grateful family culture, bringing all the elements we've discussed together into a cohesive family practice. Welcome back. Last time we covered building resilience with thankfulness. Now, let's put it all together.
It feels like the grand finale of all our efforts, Alex. We've covered so much ground, and now it's time to talk about creating a truly ingrained, deeply grateful family culture.
Exactly, Lisa. It's about moving from discrete practices to a pervasive mindset. Think of it like building a strong house. You've gathered all the best materials, all the techniques we've discussed. Now, we need to lay a solid foundation and build the structure so it stands strong day in and day out.
Okay, so where do we start with this building process?
We start by reinforcing the core belief, just like we did at the beginning, the gratitude imperative. We need to consistently communicate, not just with our words, but with our actions, why thankfulness matters. It's more than just politeness. It's about recognizing the good in our lives, big and small, and understanding our connection to others who contribute to that good.
So it's about making that foundational truth a family value, something everyone understands and feels is important.
Precisely. And this leads us to concept of modeling. For a grateful culture to take root, parents and caregivers must be the primary exemplars of gratitude. Our children are watching us constantly. If they see us genuinely appreciating things, expressing thanks, and focusing on the positive, they're far more likely to internalize those behaviors themselves. It's not about being perfect, but about being present and authentic in our expressions of thanks.
I remember you saying, Alex, that it's about walking the talk. If we want our kids to say thank you, we need to be saying it ourselves, and not just out of obligation, but with genuine feeling.
Absolutely. And this connects directly to the power of thank you. We talked about crafting meaningful expressions of appreciation. To build a grateful culture, these aren't just polite exchanges. They become opportunities to bond, to acknowledge effort, and to affirm value. This means moving beyond a quick, rote thanks to something more specific and heartfelt. Imagine saying, "Thank you for helping me with the dishes. I really appreciate you pitching in when I was tired." That kind of specific appreciation goes a long way.
That detail really makes a difference, doesn't it? It shows you've noticed and valued the specific action. And then we discussed daily rituals of appreciation. This seems to be a cornerstone for building that consistent culture.
It really is. Rituals are what make habits stick. Whether it's a moment at the dinner table where everyone shares something they're grateful for, a bedtime reflection, or a weekly family check-in, these consistent touch points are crucial. They create predictable moments for gratitude to surface. Remember, we mentioned weaving gratitude into your family's fabric, and rituals are the threads that do that.
Right, like creating a family tradition of gratitude jars or a dedicated appreciation board.
Exactly. And as we discussed, it's about starting small and being consistent. You can't expect a fully formed gratitude practice overnight. You nurture it from little seeds to big blooms. This means celebrating small wins, gently redirecting when needed, and reinforcing positive efforts. A grateful family culture isn't built on grand gestures alone. It's built on consistent, everyday actions.
And this mindful approach also helps us counter that pervasive materialism we talked about. When our focus is on appreciating what we have and the people who enrich our lives, the allure of constant acquisition naturally lessens.
Precisely. Raising kids who value more than things becomes an organic outcome of a gratitude-centered environment. They start to see the inherent worth in experiences, relationships, and simple joys rather than solely in possessions. This directly ties into celebrating simple joys, finding wonder in the everyday, a beautiful sunset, a funny conversation, a cozy afternoon becomes a cornerstone of a grateful outlook.
So, when we're building this culture, we're also equipping our children with a more balanced perspective on happiness and fulfillment. And what about when things aren't so simple? That was about the resilience of gratitude.
That's a vital piece of the puzzle for a truly deep and lasting culture. A grateful family isn't one that's happy all the time. It's one that can lean on gratitude to navigate difficulties. When challenges arise, a culture of gratitude helps us look for the lessons, the support systems, and the glimmers of hope, even amidst hardship. It builds resilience. Picture a sturdy tree. It bends in the wind, but its roots hold firm. Gratitude provides those deep roots.
It's like gratitude becomes a coping mechanism, a way to find strength when facing adversity. And I also recall discussions about the language of gratitude, that understanding different appreciation styles is important for communication within the family.
Absolutely. For a culture to thrive, everyone needs to feel seen and appreciated in ways that resonate with them. Are they someone who values words of affirmation, acts of service, quality time, gifts, or physical touch as expressions of appreciation? When we understand each other's gratitude language, our expressions of thankfulness become even more powerful and effective, strengthening those connections. It means communication about appreciation is open and understood.
And we can't forget the outward impact, which we discussed about giving back. A truly grateful culture naturally extends beyond the home.
Yes, the gratitude of generosity through volunteering and contributing to the community is a beautiful manifestation. When children see their families actively engaging and helping others, they learn that gratitude isn't just about receiving. It's also about understanding our responsibility to contribute and share our blessings. This outward expression of gratitude solidifies the inward practice.
So, to recap for our listeners, building a deeply grateful family culture involves starting with a strong, consistently communicated belief in gratitude's importance, being role models for thankfulness, crafting meaningful expressions of appreciation, establishing daily rituals and habits, countering materialism by valuing more than just things, celebrating simple joys, leveraging gratitude for resilience during challenges, understanding and speaking each other's gratitude languages for strong connections, and extending gratitude through acts of generosity. It's a holistic approach, isn't it?
It truly is. It's about creating an environment where thankfulness is not just an occasional activity, but a way of life. It's a continuous journey, not a destination. There will be days that are easier than others, but the consistent effort to nurture gratitude will yield profound rewards for your family's well-being and connection.
It's inspiring to see how all these pieces fit together. It makes it feel achievable, even with the day-to-day chaos of family life.
And remember, we're in this together. The next episode will be our final one, where we'll look at your gratitude journey continuing beyond this series.
Great.
So, to wrap up today, we've discussed how to synthesize all the powerful tools and insights from our previous episodes to build a deeply grateful family culture. It's about creating an environment where thankfulness is nurtured daily, modeled by parents, expressed meaningfully, and practiced through rituals and active generosity, all while fostering resilience and a focus on life's simple joys.
That perfectly encapsulates it, Lisa. Next episode, your gratitude journey continues. Welcome back. This is our final episode on raising grateful children.
That's right, Alex. We've covered so much ground, from defining gratitude to building daily rituals, countering materialism, and understanding different appreciation styles. It feels like we've built a solid foundation for families wanting to cultivate a more thankful environment.
Absolutely, Lisa. And that's just it. It is a foundation. Raising grateful children isn't about implementing a checklist and then being done. It's a continuous, evolving practice. Think of it like tending a garden. You plant the seeds, you water them, you weed, and with ongoing care, you see beautiful blooms year after year.
That's a wonderful analogy. So, as we reach the conclusion of this series, what are the key takeaways you hope our listeners hold on to as they continue this journey?
The most fundamental takeaway is that gratitude is a choice, and it's a skill that can be learned and strengthened. We've learned that it's more than just politeness. It's a mindset that can shift perspective, build resilience, and foster deeper connections. Remember how we talked about gratitude countering materialism? By focusing on what we have, we naturally lessen the focus on what we want.
And that's so crucial in today's world, isn't it? It's easy for children and adults to get caught up in wanting the latest things. By teaching them to appreciate the simple joys, a sunny day, a good book, a hug from a loved one, we equip them with an inner richness that possessions can't replicate. We built on that with the idea of modeling gratitude, showing rather than just telling.
Exactly. Seeing parents express genuine appreciation, whether for a small favor or a significant gesture, is incredibly powerful. It normalizes thankfulness. And then we moved into practical application, crafting meaningful expressions of appreciation, moving beyond a perfunctory thanks to heartfelt acknowledgement.
I remember how we discussed the specific elements that make a thank you resonant, naming the gift or favor, explaining its impact, and showing direct appreciation for the giver. It's about making the other person feel truly seen and valued.
And that naturally leads into weaving gratitude into the family fabric through daily rituals. Those small, consistent moments, a thankful thought before a meal, a quick appreciation shared at bedtime, they add up. They create a habit of fluency in expressing thanks. Over time, these habits become ingrained.
It's like building those appreciative muscle groups. And we also explored how to nurture these habits, moving from those initial small seeds of appreciation to bigger blooms of generosity and contentment. This involves consistent effort and gentle redirection when needed.
And that brings us to the broader purpose of gratitude, giving back. The gratitude of generosity through volunteering. When children experience the joy of helping others, They develop a deeper appreciation for their own circumstances and a more expansive view of the world. It connects their personal thankfulness to a larger community.
It's about understanding that gratitude isn't just about receiving, but also about contributing. And when we combine this with celebrating simple joys, we create a powerful force for well-being. Finding that sense of wonder in the everyday is a superpower, especially for children.
It really is. And this mindset of appreciating the present, the good, and the imperfect is a fantastic buffer against life's inevitable challenges. That's where the resilience of gratitude comes in, overcoming challenges with thankfulness, not in spite of them, but because of the strength it provides.
We saw how focusing on what you're thankful for, even in tough times, can shift your perspective from being overwhelmed by the problem to recognizing the resources, support, and inner strength you possess. It doesn't make the problem disappear, but it makes facing it feel more manageable.
And throughout all of this, the common thread has been building a deeply grateful family culture. It's about making this a shared value, a way of life. It's not just one person's effort, it's a collective endeavor, and that involves ongoing communication, reinforcing these values, and adapting them as your children grow.
So, as we look ahead, what does this gratitude journey continues look like in practice? How can our listeners keep this momentum going?
My advice is to stay intentional. Don't let gratitude become a passive concept. Continue to look for opportunities to express it, to model it, and to discuss it. Revisit the practices that resonated most with your family. Perhaps it's a weekly gratitude sharing, or maybe it's a conscious effort to notice and appreciate small acts of kindness.
And remember that perfection isn't the goal. There will be days, weeks, maybe even longer, where it feels harder. That's normal. The key is to pick yourselves back up, to recommit. The fact that you're listening to this series, that you're thinking about this, means you're already on the right path.
Exactly. Your commitment to raising grateful children is the most important ingredient. Keep the lines of communication open with your kids about what thankfulness means to them. Ask them what they appreciate, and when they express it, acknowledge and celebrate it.
It's about nurturing that internal compass. And as they grow, their understanding and expression of gratitude will evolve. What starts as a simple thank you for a toy can blossom into a deep appreciation for educational opportunities, friendships, or a parent's hard work.
This journey is about creating an environment where appreciation is a natural, everyday expression. It's about fostering contentment, resilience, and strong family bonds. It's about raising children who not only say thank you, but who truly feel and live thankfulness.
And that, Alex, is a legacy worth building. It's a gift that will serve them throughout their lives, in every aspect of their relationships and their well-being. We've equipped our listeners with the tools and the understanding. Now it's about consistent practice and unwavering encouragement.
This has been an incredible journey with all of you. We've loved exploring the powerful, transformative practice of gratitude with you. We hope this series has provided valuable insights and practical strategies to help you cultivate thankfulness in your families. Remember, the journey continues, and with each act of appreciation, you are building a stronger, more grateful family.
Thank you for joining us for this series. We've genuinely enjoyed sharing this meaningful topic with you.
Thanks for listening to the series.